it's like a joke, you know, that politicians are slimy or whatever. But as long as you we're so used to the slick PR. And I remember joking about this years ago, like, oh yes, the sigh of the oppressed creature rises up. And it's more and better PR. Like that's what, as though that's like the demand, you know? Can you just stop being so rude and mean about things, good sir, while you blank us? So anyway, this is Biden is the image and is losing the image of that the slick, you know, he was the person who is supposed to talk the right talk, say the right things, be nice, be professional, so business can carry on as usual. That's the point. An empty suit. That's what you want, right? Trump can't do that. He could not get anything done because he doesn't do that. He doesn't talk the nice talk. And it's very interesting too. Like I remember years and years ago being quite astonished when Marine Le Pen took over her party from her father. And she made a statement that seems to me to be indicative of the direction of politics. She said, what my father didn't understand or something like that, or what we know now is that it's no longer appropriate to talk like that, to say those things. She made a statement like that. And this is like way back in like 2007 or something like that. I can't really remember, but I do remember hearing this on the radio. It was something like, yes, please excuse me for the lack of sourcing here. It's just my brain from many, many years ago. But she said something like, it's no longer appropriate to speak like that. In other words, we'll carry on doing whatever it is we want to do, but we can't speak like that anymore. We can't use that language. And it was the message that she had got. And so that was what politics had become. It was like, you have to realize you have to say the right things in order to do what you actually want to do. And now people are so tired of that. They've caught on to it, that a figure like Trump seems like a breath of fresh air. Because, you know, that famous cartoon that's like, what is it? A wolf? Is it like a billboard with a wolf? And it's like, I'm going to eat you. And the sheep are looking at it and they're like, he tells it like it is. It's a silly joke that was going around, but it's true. Like, he tells it like it is when he says that he's going to blank you, because they're all, at the end of the day, out for themselves. Everybody knows. But at least this person isn't speaking that kind of language. And I think, going back to this idea of like the decline of the left, that is so appealing, that is the only outlet for that frustration, really speaks to the left's decline. Because it's like we all have imbibed this idea that you have to be nice, and that being on the left means you're nice. And if something sounds nice, it must be leftist. If it sounds like it's caring for the downtrodden, it must be leftist. And so then anybody who's a bit rough around the edges, we're like, fascist. And we're like, you know, cancel them and hound them out of polite society, instead of realizing like socialism and communism, it's got nothing to do with being, well, at least Marxism, got nothing to do with being nice. It's got nothing to do with being kind and good people and nice people. It's about a progression of history. And there has to be an outlet for that, for a desire that I think most people have, and that is expressed in like the appeal of MAGA, that America could be great, and it was once great. You had the torch of the French Revolution was carried into America. It was like extremely important and profound political moments happened on that soil. It's a great thing. And there's a sense of decline, but also people know that there's more possibility. And who gives that voice? Millionaire, many times bankrupt, idiotic car salesman, businessman from the 80s. Like that's it. And we're completely incapable of giving voice to that. And I think what MAGA communism is trying to do is rebrand socialism and communism as something that is supposed to come from the workers, speak to the workers, give voice to their desire for progress and material betterment for themselves and their families. and a reaction against what the left has become. Now, how well it does that is another question. And of course, like the right will say that that's what they're trying to do. They're like, they've co-opted our MAGA to make it more palatable to workers. So they're like, they see that. But then the left is like, they've co-opted our socialism, which people, which people were, really starting to turn around. Socialism was starting to get a good name. I don't know in what world, but it was starting to get a good name, and they've co-opted it to bring people over to MAGA. I highly doubt that. I personally don't find that particularly convincing. But I do think that the rational kernel within it is that socialism and communism is supposed to be based. It's supposed to be like give voice to the worker struggle. It's not supposed to be pro-establishment. It's not slick PR. It's not kindness. It's not being good to the downtrodden. It is about the progression of history and taking hold of possibility that capitalism is holding back. And that's what MAGA gets at. And I'm being really kind to MAGA communists. I don't think it's coherent or whatever. But what I'm saying is that it's a symptom of the left's decline in ways that we have to learn from in order to, take seriously a desire to move forward historically in the grand scheme of things, instead of getting lost in like job creation programs for middle class undergraduates in solving the problems of the poor.